Eternity's Shadow by E. Thomas Canton. Copyright 2024 E. Thomas Canton. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic or mechanical, including photocopy, recording, or by any information storage and retrieval system, without written consent from the publisher. Credits. Voices by MURF.com. Sound effects from www.freesoundslibrary.com. And additional sound effects from www.zapsplat.com and pixabay.com. Music by www.zapsplat.com and IB Audio. Alone. Helen Schaefer. Octavia Wilde, The Definitive Biography. Volume 1. The sun dripped like blood below the horizon. Brooks dead. Dark clouds moved in from the east. I felt the scattered rain pelt my naked head. The sun vanished, leaving a small gash of red across the horizon like an open wound. She'd been the closest thing I had to a friend. The smell of moisture floated in the air. The streets were hard and deserted, lit only by street lamps reflecting in the dark puddles of the potholes. My footsteps echoed as I passed under a steel railway bridge. The area looked as if it had once been industrial, but became rejuvenated into residential units. Lofts converted from old factories lined the south side of the street, while an all-night diner and a three-story hotel occupied the north. I checked in at the hotel. The clerk, who couldn't have been over 18, handed me the key and took my money. He shoved it in the till without counting, or even looking at it. 3 hours later. 4 hours later. 5 hours later. How does one try to sleep? To me, if you try to do something, you're putting in effort. And if you're putting in an effort, how can you fall asleep? It's no use. Every time I closed my eyes, I could see that door fading into nothingness. I shouldn't have left her. Large red digits glowed on the clock face. 3 a.m., the flashing neon street sign caused shadows of Venetian blinds to splash across the bed. No moon hung in the starless sky. I needed to write everything down before I forgot it. I lost my journal, but searching the room, I found someone's forgotten notebook in a little drawer in the nightstand. Tearing out the only 2 pages with writing, I recorded what happened to us by the light of a small lamp. The sky remained cloudy and rainy as I woke the next morning. Following my hunger downstairs, I walked through the lobby and saw the kid from the night before. An older man who, by the conversation, must have been his employer yelled at him. The kid said nothing, but pointed at me as I walked out the door. I needed food, and wasn't all that interested in knowing whether I'd miscounted my money. If I'd shortchanged him, I'd straighten it all out on my return. My footsteps splashed as I ran through the rain to the all-night diner across the street where I enjoyed the most mediocre breakfast ever. The menu referred to it as the morning nutritional meal. I glanced out the window and noticed the man from the lobby gesturing like an insane person to an officer. I couldn't help but wonder if he should seek anger management therapy. When the bill arrived, I discovered, to no one's surprise, that overpriced meals are a universal constant. I placed my money on the tray provided, and the server picked it up.
Sir?
What? I said, lost in thought.
Sir?
The server said.
That's not real money.
Right. That's why we shoplifted from the tech store. The officer entered. He wore a strange badge with the letters PWMOPOTL engraved on it. I saw this as he proceeded to my table. The next thing I knew, handcuffs squeezed around my wrists. The charges were counterfeiting and possession of a fake ID. What could I say? I'm from another Earth, and this is real money there. Oops. Sorry about the mistake. Can I go now? I had no desire to live in a mental ward. They handcuffed me, took me outside, and put me in the back of their car. They sat me beside someone they called Bruno the Mad Dog Killer. As I discovered, he killed dogs who seemed upset. I can't blame you. I didn't believe it at first either. The officers announced they were taking Bruno, who now smiled with love in my direction, to the cages. They addressed me.
And we're taking Mr. No ID to the concentration camp.
What? No. You can't do this. My heart felt ready to burst through my chest. What kind of people were they that they had concentration camps for such a minor offense? What kind of people were they that they had concentration camps at all? Adrenaline raced through my veins. Bursting through as they closed the doors, I fell face first onto the unforgiving asphalt. They grabbed me as I struggled to stand. I panicked, kicked one between the legs, and ran, feeling like a hostage to some bizarre Kafkaesque nightmare. I had far more fear of inquisitors, or whatever they called them on this world, than I ever had of the darkness. People I'd seen overcome by the Black Death didn't even notice they were dying. It almost seemed peaceful, like passing in your sleep. Inquisitors relished the pain they inflicted. They would send for doctors to elongate your life so they could make you suffer even more. I'd seen what they did to people, and I couldn't put my fear into words. My face smashed into the pavement as the officer tackled me. This is how it all ends for me. Tortured to death all alone on some nameless world far from home. When I saw him take out his baton and hold it over his head to strike me, I screamed. The baton came down hard across my temple. I endured a split second of crushing pain,